Hi everyone, this is Susie. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my recipe for Caldo Sin Res, which means soup without beef. Back in the day when I was growing up, my grandmother used to make Caldo de Res, which means soup of beef. However, I decided to make the vegan version of it and to share it with you guys because it is absolutely delicious. This is what my grandma used to make every Sunday. It was like she would make like a big old pot and it was like a feast. So this is a labor of love. I hope you guys enjoy it, okay? So these are the ingredients we'll be using. I have some garbanzo beans, some garlic, onion, tomato, corn, carrot, zucchini, potato, chayote, cilantro, cabbage, and also we're going to serve this with some chile de molcajete, which it's just tomato, chile serrano, and a little bit of garlic. So we're going to have that on the side, and then we're going to serve our plate with some avocado, some lime juice, some corn, tortillas, and also it's traditional to serve it with some Mexican rice. So we'll see if we'll get that far, okay? So let's get started. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the chile de molcajete. I'll show you what a molcajete is in a bit. Some people like to do the whole tomato. I like to do it in half because that way it's quicker. And this is already hot. I put some aluminum foil in there, and I put my 2 tomatoes and 2 serranos or jalapenos. It's up to you. And we're just going to let that char, okay? So that's a molcajete, okay? This is where you put the chiles and the tomato and you just kind of mash it in there. I don't have one of those, so we will be using the blender instead. And every couple minutes you just want to move your chiles a little bit so that they get charred all around, okay? You can even put it in the middle like that, oops, so that they stay put. Okay, maybe, oops, you know what I mean. And then the tomatoes will stay there longer because they're just starting to soften. So just remember, keep an eye on the chiles. The chiles will be done quicker than the tomatoes, okay? And this is the base for the soup. So I have 3 large tomatoes, a chunk of white onion, and some garlic cloves. And I'm going to place that in the blender and just blend it up with a little bit of water, okay? So here it is. I have about 2 cups of water and I'm just going to blend this until smooth. So now we're going to add this to our pot. This is completely dry. It does not have any oil. You can add oil if you wish. And now we're just going to turn on the heat. And I'm going to add some water to this to rinse it out and add it to the pot, and I'll be right back. So it's been 10 minutes and now I am going to take out the chiles because these are done. And now I'm just going to flip over the tomatoes. You can use a tool. I'll use a tool to flip that over and we'll leave it for maybe another 10 minutes. And what I like to do after I flip them over, I'll just cover them up so that way they'll cook a little bit quicker and they won't be so dry at the end, okay? So now I'm going to add about 4 cups of water to the tomato mixture here. And we're going to start adding the veggies now. So after 5 minutes, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn this off, turn off the heat of the comal, and just let them sit there for 5 more minutes, okay? Okay, so it's been 5 minutes. So now I transferred the tomatoes over to my blender. I'm going to add 1 first, and a clove of garlic, and a little bit of salt, about ½ teaspoon of salt. And I'm just going to blend this and see if it needs more chile, okay? So here's a chile. I added both of the serranos because I wanted it to be really spicy. And it can be as chunky as you want or as smooth as you like. And this is also a great salsa to eat with like chips and stuff. So this is also a really, really awesome salsa to have. So here's a chile de molcajete without the molcajete. Okay, so we're just going to let this cool. I don't like to add water because usually the tomatoes are pretty watery. If they're not, then you could add a tiny bit of water, okay, to that as well. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes that the soup has started to cook, and you don't have to wait this long. It was just that it took me that long to do the salsa, okay? And now I have some corn. I have 4 small ears of corn, but you can add as much or as little as you like. If there is a vegetable that you don't like, then you can just leave that out or substitute it for something else, okay? Okay, it's been 1 to 2 minutes, and now I'm just going to add the potatoes. I have 3 kind of smallish potatoes, and I'm just going to add that to this as well, because this is what takes the longest to cook. So we go from hardest vegetable to softest, okay? Okay, and now you can add your salt to taste, and I'm going to add a little bit of my powdered vegetable broth as well. It's like half a teaspoon, but you can do as much as you want, or you can do some of the better than bouillon if you want to do the better than bouillon is good as well, or whatever kind of broth you like, or you can just leave it out. Okay, just give that a stir. And now I'm just going to peel my chayote, and I am going to cut it in small cubes, okay? So this is what it's starting to look like. Isn't that beautiful? Beautiful. So it's been 10 minutes since I added the potatoes, and now I'm going to add the carrot. I just have 1 carrot that I chopped in some smallish pieces. So it's been about 3 minutes, and now I'm going to add the chayote in like smallish pieces, as big as you like it. It's up to you. And also, just to remember, when you are peeling the chayote, if you've never had a chayote before, it does get a little bit slippery, so just be very careful, because you might, it might slip off your hands when you're trying to peel it. And then after that, I like to wash it, so that way it's easier to cut, and it won't be slipping all around, and you won't cut yourself. Okay, so we're just going to let that cook for maybe another couple minutes. So it's been about 7 minutes since I added the chayote, and now I'm going to add a little bit of cilantro. This is what it looks like, and you can add a little bit more cilantro if you like, okay? So it's been about 2 to 3 minutes, and now I'm going to go ahead and add 1 chopped zucchini. And I'm also going to go ahead and add a little bit of the cabbage. Smelling so good. You can add water if for some reason you think it doesn't have enough liquid. Just go ahead and add water. And if for some reason you feel like it needs a little bit more of the tomato flavor, you can just go ahead and add a little bit of tomato paste, okay? So it's been about 3 minutes, and now I'm going to add my garbanzo. And this was canned, and I just rinsed it out really well. And I'm just going to go ahead and add the garbanzo to the caldo, okay? So I think it's going to need a little bit more water, so I'm just going to add a little more water, give it a taste, and see if it needs more of the tomato, and I'll just add the tomato paste to that. And that's how it's looking. Oh my goodness, isn't that beautiful? So usually as soon as I put the garbanzo in, I'll cook it maybe for 1 to 2 more minutes, and that's it. But since I added a little bit of water, I am going to cook it maybe for 3 to 5 minutes or so, just so that the caldo comes to a very, very light boil, and then I'll turn it off, okay? But this is what it looks like. Isn't it beautiful? All the veggies. Oh my goodness, so good. Okay everybody, here it is. Here is the caldo sin res, and I have some corn tortillas that I warmed up, and I went ahead and bought some Mexican rice at the taqueria across the street. And also, the other thing I was going to tell you, if you were going to make the chile de molcajete, if you're going to serve it just like with chips and stuff like that, you can add some chopped fresh cilantro and a little bit of white onion if you want. I didn't add the onion this time, but usually they'll put like cilantro on one side and then they'll put the little white onion on the other, so it kind of looks like a little flag or something. So that's really cute. And we have some avocados and some lime chips as well. So we're just gonna dig in. Okay, so here you can either add, I like to add like my rice into my bowl, but you can add it to, some people like adding it to the tortilla, like they'll add the rice to the tortilla and the avocado to the tortilla, maybe even the chile, and then just wrap this up like a taco and bite into it and then eat the soup. I like to put everything in there, so just a little bit of lime juice and a little bit of the chile, oops, some of the avocado. So my plate won't look as nice as when you put everything in the taco, but it'll taste really good, that's for sure. And that's it. So, Oh my goodness. This is so good. This is amazing. This is amazing. So here you have the Caldo Sin Res. It is delicious. If you've ever had Caldo de Res at a Mexican restaurant, you know what I'm talking about. Oh my goodness. It is so delicious, and it is as good as a regular one. So I hope you guys give this one a try. If you have any questions, let me know. I hope that you enjoy it as much as I do. And also the rice, I didn't make the rice because there's a ton of videos, I'm sure, of how to make Mexican rice, so I just went ahead and bought it. So that's something that you can do as well, okay? So here you have it. Thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.